हाई एभ्रिवान। आज म यो पूर्वाञ्चल युनिभर्सिटीको ब्याचलर इन सिभिल इन्जिनियरिङको सर्वे फोर्सको प्र्याक्टिकलको बारे कुरा गर्ने क्रममा आज म टुपेक टेस्टको बारे कुरा गर्दैछु। टुपेक टेस्ट चाहिँ लेबलिङको प्रिन्सिपलमा बेस छ। सो अब्जेक्टिभ्स टु नो द बेसिक कन्सेप्ट अफ अटो लेबल एन्ड लेबलिङ, to determine the permanent adjustment of the label. Instrument required: auto label with tripod stand, labeling staff, measuring tape, pegs, hammer. Description of instrument: auto label. Auto label is an optical instrument used to establish or verify points in the same horizontal plane in a process known as labeling, and is used in conjunction with a labeling staff to establish the relative height level of objects or marks. It is widely used in surveying and construction to measure height difference and to transfer, measure and net height of non-objects or marks. So here is a cross-section of instrument with staff reading. So auto label consists of essentially following points: telescope to provide line of sight, or label tube to make line of sight horizontal, or labeling head to bring the bubble of tube label at center of its. So here is a figure of auto label and its parts. So here is a small figure about auto label and its parts. So labeling staff: a straight rectangular wooden or metallic rod graduated into meters, feet, and further smaller division is called labeling staff. The bottom of the labeling staff represents the zero reading. The reading given by the line of sight on a labeling staff held vertically is the height of line of collimation above the point on which the staff is held. So here is a figure of staff. So tripod stand: it is used to support a label. So tripod stand: it is used to support a label. We can adjust the lengths of legs as per our requirements. Theory: labeling. The art of determining relative altitudes of points on the surface of Earth and beneath the surface of Earth is called labeling. The branch of surveying deals with measurements in a particle plane. For the execution of engineering projects such as railways, highways, canals, dam, water supply, and sanitary schemes, it is very necessary to determine the elevation of different points along the alignments of the proposed projects. Basic technical terms used in labeling: label surface: the surface which is parallel to the mean spheroidal surface of the Earth is known as label surface. Label line: a line lying on a label surface is known as label line. Horizontal surface: a surface tangential to the label surface at an point is known as horizontal surface. Horizontal line: a line lying on a horizontal surface is called horizontal line. Vertical line: a line perpendicular to label line is called vertical line. Vertical angle: the angle between an inclined line and horizontal line at a plane in a vertical plane is called vertical angle. Mean sea level: the datum obtained by making hourly observation between tides at any place is called mean sea level. Reduced level: the height of depth of point where above or below assumed datum is called reduced level. Instrument station: the point where instrument is set up for observations is called instrument station. The point where labeling staff is held is known as station. Height of instrument: the elevation of line of sight with respect to datum is called height of instrument. Backside: the first sight taken on a labeling staff held at a point of non-elevation is backside. Its short form is BS. Foresight: FS. The sight taken on labeling staff held at a point of unknown elevation to ascertain the amount by which the point is above or below the line of sight is called foresight. Change point CP: the point on which foresight and backside are taken during operation of labeling is called change point. Intermediate sight: the foresight taken on labeling staff held at a point between two turning points to determine the elevation of that point is known as intermediate sight. Line of sight: the line passing through the optical center of the projective traversing the eyepiece and the entering eye is known as line of sight. Datum: It is an surface. It is any surface with reference to which elevation of points are measured. Mean sea level is considered as convenient datum line worldwide. Line of collimation. The line passing through optical center of the objective and point of intersection of cross-hair stretch in front of eyepiece and its continuation is called line of collimation. Benchmark. It is relatively permanent point of reference whose elevation with respect to some assumed datum. Axis of telescope. The line joining optical center of objective and center of eyepiece is known as axis of telescope. So line of collimation. The line passing through the optical center of the objective and the point of intersection of the crosshair stretched in front of the eyepiece and its continuation is called line of collimation. Line of sight. The line passing through the optical center of the objective, traversing the eyepiece and entering the eye is known as line of sight. Principle of leveling. The principle of leveling is making the horizontal line of sight and finding the vertical distance of the points above or below the line of sight. The horizontal line of sight is provided with a level and a graduated leveling staff is used for measuring the height of line of sight above the staff portion. So here is a figure of principle of leveling. Here O is the center of the earth. A and A dash are the points on the surface of earth whose difference in elevation is to be find out. C is the position of level. CO is the plumb line. And BB dash is the horizontal line of sight. AB and A dash B dash are the staff readings at A and A dash respectively. Then OA plus AB is equal to OA double dash plus A double dash A dash plus A dash B dash, or AB is equal to A dash B dash is equal to A double dash A dash, or DS is equal to A double dash A dash. Therefore, difference in elevation between 2 points is equal to difference in staff reading taken at points from one instrument station. Adjustment level. Temporary adjustment. The adjustments which are made for every setting of a level are known as temporary adjustment. It consists of setting of the level, leveling of parallax, setting of the level. This operation includes fixing the instrument on a tripod and also leveling the instrument approximately by leg adjustment so that the tripod is approximately leveled. Leveling up. After setting of the instruments, accurate leveling is done by using foot screws. The objective of leveling is to make line of collimation exactly horizontal or vertical axis truly vertical. Parallax. If the image formed by objective doesn't lie in a plane of crosshair, any movement of eye causes an apparent movement of the image with respect to crosshair, which is called parallax. Focusing eyepiece for distinct vision of crosshair, focusing objective for clear vision of object. Permanent adjustment. These are the adjustments that are done to set the essential parts of instruments in their true position relative to each other. It is therefore desirable that a permanent adjustment should be as perfect as possible. When a relationship between fundamental line of levels are distributed due to mishandling of instruments on by which for long period permanent adjustments will be done. The permanent adjustment can be carried out by following adjustment: adjustment of level table, adjustment of cross bearing, adjustment of line of collimation. If there is any error in instruments, permanent adjustments will be carried out. All surveying instruments require certain permanent adjustment from time to time. Adjustment of line of collimation. The line of collimation will be parallel to axis of bubble tube when bubble tube is in the center regardless of direction in which the telescope is pointed. It is done by setting up leveling machine in midpoint between two stations, firstly near to station. The readings used thus obtain an error is calculated which is obtained if more than 1 is to 10,000. Then permanent adjustment is carried out by losing capstan, screw and crosshair is adjusted. Two-peg test. Two-peg test is a process of checking or level whether the permanent adjustment is required or not. It is performed to adjust line of sight throughout the instrument are properly adjustment by the manufacturer. Their fundamental lines get disturbed due to mishandling of the instrument. The field established relationship between the fundamental lines of level is the main objective of permanent adjustment. So procedure. So first of all, we set it up level instrument at instrument station C and labeled it with the help of bubble. Then we cited to the staff station A and B, and reading were taken and calculated the level difference between station A and B. We took top, middle and bottom reading of the instrument. Again we shifted the instrument at station D and cited to the staff and station B and A and took staff reading, and again we calculated the level difference between A and B. This above process was repeated. So हामीले observation र क्यालकुलेसनमा चाहिँ हामीले यसरी पाएको छु. So precision भनेको discrepancy by distance between A and B. Any result. Hence from the above observation we observed that the precision of instrument that we have used as 1:15,000. Discussion and conclusion. From observation we concluded that the instrument that is auto level was more accurate. Our required precision was 1:10,000 and we got 1:15,000. So the instrument is more accurate. Precaution. The instrument auto level should be perfectly labeled. Staff should be kept particle. Reading from auto level should be properly taken. So thank you. This was content for today.